Teams in the history of the National Football League. If you include the one playoff game they once upon a time had, this would be the 143rd meeting of their storied rivalry. Bears had an advantage this year with the schedule. This marked the third time that they played a game that had 10 days off before they played another one. Oh yeah, another advantage they had today? They're a better team than the Green Bay Packers. Here we go, wind it up from Soldier Field. Packers have been doing the Lindy all year long. Mike Ditka, his team had lost 2 in a row, and they're trying to get him fired up. And Jim Harbaugh had played poorly last 2 weeks. Had a feeling he'd have a good game, but not early. Pass is picked off by Vinnie Clark, and the Packers are in business in Chicago territory. Or are they? But the way the Pack season has gone, not 1 but 2 penalties against Green Bay, so we nullify it twice. So the Bears continue the drive, and they capitalize when Brad Colonel Muster in the end zone with the football. It's a touchdown, 7-0 Chicago. 7-3 score. Jim Harbaugh's arm is hit, and this time Vinnie Clark gets the pick, and you know this one counted, so Green Bay is in business. Another highlight for the Pack, there weren't a lot today, but Mike Tomczak, the former Bear, the jump pass to Jackie Harris at the touchdown, and Lindy and Fonnie's Packers leading 10-7, but not the ball. Chicago's next drive, Harbaugh on 3rd and 8. Look at him rumble, bumble, stumble inside the 10-yard line, set up a 1st and goal for the Chicago Bears. 2 plays later, Brad Muster in the kitchen with the lead pipe. It's a touchdown for the Colonel. 14-10 the Bears.
Yeah, Brad Muster does a nice job of weaving his way through the defense here, but a sloppy tackling job by the Green Bay Packers.
Now the Bears smelling some blood, as they do very well. Harbaugh to Wendell Davis, 20 yards, touchdown, and the Bears lead it 21-10. Second half, and Lindy has seen this happen before. Watch Harbaugh with the floater. Davis with the reception, who came back to the football, Tom.
Yeah, Wendell Davis does a good job of 2 things here. Giving the defender a little bit of a nudge in the back, and then coming back and concentrating on the football for the touchdown.
Jim Harbaugh threw for over 200 yards, had a pair of touchdowns. Wendell Davis, the most catches for a Chicago Bears, is now has 54 since Dick Gordon had more in 1970. Bears don't throw the ball a lot. They did today. Muster 2, Davis 2, and the Bears beat the Packers 27-13. They have swept the Packers now 6 out of the last 7 years. And really, Tommy, not unexpected that the Bears would come out with fire in their eyes, especially with the extra rest.
I think the extra rest, and also we all saw Mike Ditka ranting and raving after that loss last week. You had to expect the Bears to come out and play some smash-mouth football. I thought they put a lot of good pressure on Tomczak during the course of the day. And the surprising thing, without Neil Anderson in the game, Brad Muster picked up the slack for them running the football.
Those are some hard feelings, really, between Harbaugh and Tomczak. Remember, they both were battling for the job after McMahon left. Harbaugh coming out on top today. He's done that more often. Although Tomczak hadn't played bad for the Pack. It's Jim Harbaugh that when he does well, the Bears have won this year. For example, in the 10 games the Bears have won, if they have to mark the 10-4, he has thrown at least 1 touchdown pass in all of them. In their 10 wins, he's thrown for about 60%. In the 4 losses, no TD passes, picked off 8 times. You read the quarterback, you read whether they won or they lost.
They move Gentry out of the backfield, a motion to the left. Muster the lone setback, 1st down from the 20 of Green Bay. Harbaugh pop fly to the right side. Davis over the shoulder, catch, touchdown!
Jim Harbaugh, Wendell Davis, and the Chicago defense dominated the Packers all day. For the Bears, a step closer to the playoffs. For Green Bay, a step closer to a house cleaning project at the end of the season. We'll have the complete story from Soldier Field next up on Instant Replay.
The Bears did pretty much what they wanted with Green Bay, and they beat the Packers 27-13. Neil Anderson was out. He didn't play, but Brad Muster sure did. When he's healthy, he's about as impressive as a fullback in the whole National Football League could be. A 7-yard blast in the first quarter. Bears lead at 7-zip. In the second period, the former Bear, Mike Tomczak, put the Packers in front for the first and only time, flipped to Jackie Harris off play action, and 10-7 Green Bay on top. Muster, though, took care of that on the Bears' next series, picking his way 6 yards for the touchdown here, 14-10 Chicago, and this sequence was the beginning of the end for the Packers today. Tomczak on the first play after the kickoff tried to squeeze one in, and he was intercepted by Jim Morrissey, and the return to the Packers' 20-yard line. And then on the first play after that, it was Jim Harbaugh going for the end zone to Wendell Davis. And Wendell had his man beaten. A touchdown, Bears, 21-10, and that was about it. Those same two hooked up on the Bears' final TD of the day. This time it was Davis making a great adjustment in the end zone for a 35-yard touchdown pass as the Bears win at 27-13 in the 142nd meeting of these two NFL rivals. It was a victory the Bears had to have to stay ahead of Detroit in the NFC Central, and it was an especially sweet win for Jim Harbaugh, who won a game within a game in beating the Packers. Rich King has more on that in his post-game report from Soldier Field.
The subplot in this one was clear. Harbaugh had accused Tomczak of leaking plays to the opposition when the two quarterbacks were vying for a job with the Bears. After today's game, the two players met on the field, Harbaugh saying he extended the olive branch.
I've been in his shoes before. You lose a tough game like that. It's not easy to be, real talkative after the game. All I said was, let's bury the hatchet, and he kind of nodded, and we just shook hands.
The hatch is buried. If Jim said it, the hatch is buried.
It's all gone?
Yeah, it's gone. Forgotten. Gone. See ya.
Well, it was the Bears that said see ya on offense today. Wendell Davis catching 2 touchdown passes. Here is the first. And the second one was even better. Davis saying the pressure was on the Bears offense after 2 straight losses.
Yeah, we feel we had to do something, get some touchdowns. In the past 2 games, we get down there and come away with nothing. I think we had the pressure on us today to get the ball in the end zone, and we did a good job of it. We made sure we got points when we were down there.
On the ground, Brad Muster was back, and he scored twice, looking like a high jumper here. Muster with the usual low-key assessment of the Bears' success.
It seemed like, we had them spread out and we could do what we wanted to do. I think we took them out of that, stop the run mentality. We were throwing the ball, and, I'm not too sure we couldn't have run a little more, but hey, we just got to win, right? So that's what we did.
There were some sour moments. Johnny Bailey coughed up the ball here in the year-long epidemic of special team misery. Mike Ditka, however, defended Bailey.
I'm not going to criticize him. I'm not going to crucify him. I had my 1 week. Thanksgiving was my week. I'm done. I'm done. You guys do it. I don't want to do it anymore. He'll be back there next week.
This was Ditka's 100th career victory, and he reacted in typical Ditka fashion. Happiness with a twist of the bitter.
Yeah, it means a lot to me because of my pride, because when I came here, people said I wouldn't stay here. And I stayed here for 10 years, and whether I tricked somebody or not, I'm proud of that. And I'm proud of the kind of football we played for 10 years, and for those who don't like that, then I think you're very sorry people.
Well, this was no doubt the Bears' biggest victory of the season. It greatly solidifies the division title hopes. The Bears wrap it up next weekend against Tampa Bay right here. Then after that, at San Francisco.
He's effective. I think part of his big game is the way he looks. People just doesn't take him serious as a running back.
Well, somebody better start because that guy is doing a great job. He scored there early in the game to make it 7-0. Here's one of the few dark moments today out there. Johnny Bailey fumbling a punt. The special teams again had some problems in this game.
Well, I think Johnny was just wanting to do something so hard, try too hard, and he made a mistake.
We go second quarter now. Tomczak on the play action fake. He's got his tight end out there. Mike Singletary, I saw duck to the middle and then try to get back out there in coverage and couldn't quite get there in time. So it's 10-7 Green Bay there. But I don't know about you. I never really felt like anybody was in big trouble here, even though you were behind.
No, not at all. I mean, it was just a case where they had a turnover and they cut some points out of it, but we knew we were still in control of the game.
Bears came back offensively. A nice block by Van Horn on that 16-yard run by Harbaugh. And then Muster, here we go again, left side, huh?
That sweep. I guess the more I talk about it, the more Johnny Rowland calls that play, and Brad's very effective with it. Hey, keep doing it. If it works, keep going for it.
Those Pac-10 guys are tough, aren't they?
That's true. He had some great blocks here. Brad did a great job individually, but you had guys staying with blocks, helping him get into the end zone.
Well, this is a sequence that really killed the Packers because the first play after the pickoff, Mike, who has a tendency to try to squeeze that ball in between defenders, did it there, and Morrissey picked him off.
Mike really made a bad passes. We really had all the zones covered, and he threw it to two guys in our area, and Jim made a great play in picking it off.
Well, I just knew they were going for the quick strike after that, too. And again, the first play afterward, and Wendell Davis makes one of his 2 catches. Both went for touchdowns. You'll see the other one later on. In the third quarter now, Mike Singletary set the tone here. This was the first play of the period, and these guys weren't going anywhere in the second half.
Well, we had a tendency every now and then coming out a little flat in the third quarter, and we really wanted to come out hard this third quarter and make some plays and shut them down.
Richard Dent from the backside tracked down Thompson there, made a great play. Offensively, Keith Jennings today, Mark, had a great game, 4 catches, and he really stepped up with the injury to Thornton.
Well, Jug did a great job stepping in and throwing some good blocks and just catching the ball and making some plays for us.
And talking about making plays, here's one of the specialty plays by Wendell Davis, coming back in the end zone to catch it, beat the defender for the touchdown. 35-yard play, and 27-13 because Kevin missed the point after, and I saw Ditka yelling at him today. Maybe that inspired some of that bad mood after the game.
I don't know. He's always in his great mood. I don't look at his bad mood as typical Ditka mood.
Just you never know what to expect mood, I guess
yeah,
is what it is.
Basically.
Okay, late in the 4th quarter here, Tim Ryan, Southern Cal, makes the strip on Tom Zach and got the fumble too. That pretty much ended the game, and the Bears win it by a final of 27-13.
First quarter, Chicago strikes first. Brad Muster takes it in for the 8th as 5 Packers miss tackles, 7-3 Bears after 1. Second quarter, the Packers take the lead. Tom Zach on the play action hits tight end Jackie Harris, who's wide open, 10-7 in favor of the Pack, and Lindy Infante says, whew, did we need that one. Still in the second, Bears regain the lead for good. Muster again, breaking tackles again, 6 yards for the score, 14-10 Bears. On the Packers' next possession, they give it right back. Tom Zach throws a duck that's picked off by Jim Morrissey. He takes it down to the Packer 20-yard line. Next play, Jim Harbaugh hits Wendell Davis. 20 yards for the score, 21-13 Bears at the half. Late in the third, Chicago puts it away. Harbaugh to Davis again, this time good for 35 yards and the touch. Extra point is blocked, doesn't matter. Bears go on to beat.
Catch in the end zone, the 35-yard touchdown, and the Packers lose again. Ditka getting his 100th win as a coach.
The Bears got on the scoreboard first this afternoon as running back Brad Muster took the toss, rumbled right, hurdling would-be tacklers for the score to make it 7-0 in favor of Chicago. A Packers field goal made it a 7-3 game. Then in the second quarter, Mike Tomczak gets some revenge on his old teammates as he connects with Jackie Harris from short yardage as the Packers took the lead 10-7. But the Bears regained the advantage quickly as they drove 73 yards in 10 plays, with Muster breaking 3 tackles on this 6-yard scamper as Chicago went back on top 14-10. Tomczak threw an interception on the first play following the kickoff, and on the first play after the turnover, Jim Harbaugh went up top to Wendell Davis from 20 yards out as the Bears quickly made it 21-10. Another Chris Jackie field goal made it 21-13. Then in the third quarter, it's Harbaugh and Davis again, this time for 35 yards in the score as the Bears up their record to 10-4 on the year this afternoon. The 27-13 loss was the Packers' 5th defeat in their last 6 games and dropped Green Bay's record to 3-11 for the season. Next week, the Packers play their final home game as they'll entertain division co-leader Detroit at Lambeau Field. Another bitter rivalry took place.
You can't go out there and make mistakes. If you make mistakes, you're gonna end up paying for it.
It's the same story we've heard all season, folks. The Packer mistakes lead to another loss. The Bears win 27-13, handing Green Bay its 11th loss of the season.
You know, we got a good group of guys that want to win and are trying desperately to win, but it just seems like we can't get it to go.
And, of course, the Packers play the Lions next, and the Lions kept pace.
Tough time bringing down big fullback Brad Muster today. Late first quarter, Brad barrels through for an 8-yard score, 7-0 Bears. With the score 7-3 in the second quarter, Scott Stevens puts some heat on Jim Harbaugh, deflects the pass. Rookie Vinnie Clark's there, returns it 20 yards to the Chicago 30. 8 plays later, Mike Tomczak, the former Bear, hits Jackie Harris, 1-yard score. 10-7 Packers are up. But here comes Muster again. Brad was nimble, Brad was slick. Brad scored from 6 yards out real quick. 14-10 Bears. Next play from scrimmage. Tomczak is picked off by former Michigan State linebacker Jim Morrissey. His first interception of the year, back to the 20. Very next play, Jim Harbaugh hits Wendell Davis. Vinnie Clark beaten on the play. 21-10 Chicago. The Bears led 21-13 at the half. This was supposed to be a Harbaugh-Tomczak showdown, but it was Harbaugh who stole the show. 16 of 25, 209 yards, 2 touchdowns, both to Davis, both on Vinnie Clark, 27-13. Midway through the fourth, the Packers gambled on 4th and 3, but Tomczak fumbles the snap. Tomczak fumbled again on the Packers' next possession, and there you have it. 27-13 is the final. The Packers dropped to 3-11. Mike Ditka gets his 100th win. The Packers are at a loss.
Pretty well at times, and certainly played better than we played last time we played these guys, and gave a lot better account of ourselves, but at the same time we self-destructed a few times.
the reason, you know, this one hurts is the Bears. I mean, that's the bottom line. And even after playing them and losing 27-13, I just feel like we're a better team. And, you know, I don't know why we didn't get it done, but we didn't.
I don't think the confidence is as bad as people would think, because I think it's hurting a little bit now, but I don't think we're anywhere in the doldrums or anything like that.